Yes, yes, you are audible. Thank you, Gaurav. Okay, good evening, guys. How are you all? Am I audible? Okay, okay. So, once again, good evening, guys. Feeling? Hello, am I audible?
Fine, bro. Fine, fine.
Okay, okay, okay. So, before we're going to start our session, let me introduce myself. My name is Mansun Kasyap, and I am a EC student of Techno International Bhattacharya. And here I am the tech mentor, or you may say your mentor. Okay, I am also the part of tech member of GDSC TIB. So I think you all know me. Okay, guys. Okay. So now next. Okay, this is the today's agenda for this session. So what this you can look at this. So first in this session we are going to understand what is Flutter, what are the features of Flutter, how Flutter. So that why we have to use Flutter. Okay, and we'll also know going to know about our community. I think you have everyone knows the we have a community GDSC TIB. Yes, guys. Okay, okay, okay. So yes, we have will in this sessions we will conduct 4 sessions. In these sessions, in the first session, which is today, we'll going to learn about introduction of Flutter, and we'll going to know about Flutter Forward. What is Flutter Forward? Because previously Flutter has organized like a Flutter festival. Yes. So in this first session, we'll get to know what is Flutter, what is Flutter Forward, and in the second session, we'll do our installation. And yes, you will running your first app on the second session onwards. Okay. And after that we'll get to know what is Dart essentials. So in Flutter we use programming language. You may for web development you use mainly JavaScript, like JavaScript, HTML, CSS. So in Flutter we are just only one language. We have only one language, that is Dart. From Dart we can do anything. Okay, so we'll get to know what are the essentials in a Dart. Okay, and then after this third session, we'll in the fourth session, you will be building a beautiful app. Okay, guys. So be ready. Okay. So first we'll get to know you. I think you all know about the GDSC TIB. So this is GDSC TIB is nothing but a group of student, or you can say it is a student club, and it is recognized by Google. It is a student body at a college, which is directly report to the Google for their activities like conducting workshops, seminars, taking like we are taking the sessions. Yes, okay. So here we can connect all the students. We have about 100 and 200 students in this college. in this in GDSC TIB. Yes. Okay, guys. Let me move to the next slide. Okay. So we are waiting for the Flutter forward. So what is Flutter forward? So Flutter forward is nothing but a first. Flutter is a open source platform which provide us to build a app on any platform. Any platform means you can build on Android, build for Android, for Windows, for Mac, anything for like embedded also. Okay. So before we moving to the next slide, let me just show you one video about Flutter forward. Okay, so this is in this video is nothing but what are the things Flutter has included in their Flutter forward event. And this event was conducted by Google like in 23rd January. Yes. So please listen to this video.
For those of you who haven't spent much time with Flutter, we're an open source, portable UI toolkit designed to enable beautiful, fast experiences on any platform. We want to unleash to build, test, and deploy beautiful mobile, web, desktop, and embedded applications from a single code base. So let's talk about the forward part. What's coming next? With this event, we want to give you some deep previews of a lot of different features that aren't yet stable quality, but represent work in progress. We're going to show you a number of different demos of things that we're working on for Flutter and Dart. And they fall into four main categories. Breakthrough graphics performance. Delivering seamless integration with the underlying platform, whether it's web, mobile, or desktop. Support early to new and emerging architectures, and continuing our focus on developer productivity.
Yes, this is the first.
So one feature that we're super proud of is Impeller, which, like we mentioned before, is a major rewrite of our graphics engine. And you can see for yourself just how smooth Impeller is by installing Wondrous for iOS. But in some edge cases, like complex SVG clipping, you can see Impeller making a really huge performance difference. One advantage that we have, because we're building from the ground up, is that this new architecture, brand new use cases. So what if we did want to do something totally new, like maybe 3D? So right now I have a pretty simple app. It just has an image widget to display a 2D version of Dash that's created from this PNG file. So nothing fancy. She's looking cute, but I really want to make her 3D. So let me go ahead and switch out this widget over here, and instead we're going to use a scene. And scene accepts a node, which can take an asset. And in this case, my asset is going to be a model file. It's actually something called a GLB file. So I'll save that and reload. And she's 3D. But the thing is that we were just talking about performance. So I think we need to turn it up a notch, right? Instead of just showing a single dash, I think we want to show a whole bunch of dash. So I have my helper function called many nodes, and I'm going to wrap it around my node object. Press save, again, reload, and now we have a whole bunch of dashes.
Wow.
It's actually a cube of dashes, 7 by 7 cube to be exact. So that's 343 dashes walking around. So that means more than 10,000 individual joints that are being evaluated at every frame. With that reload, thank you, Impeller.
Yes, this is the second.
We're working on 2 new tools. And what these will do is generate something called bindings that allows us to communicate with iOS or Android APIs directly from our Dart code. So to automatically automatically generate bindings for iOS, we're going to use this tool called FFI Gen. And now that I have all the configurations set, I can just automatically generate these bindings by copying this command into the terminal, and this will just run FFI Gen. Right? So we can see that it's running, and like I said, this will auto-generate some code that basically just acts as the glue that allows us to call platform code directly from Dart. So that was iOS, and on the Android side, things look really similar. We use this tool called JNI Gen. So this is Dart, and I'm just taking advantage of those bindings that we generated using JNI Gen.
I want to show a second thing, which is called element embedding. And this is another shift of work that we're doing, another piece that we're doing to improve the quality of the web experience with Flutter. To take Dart and Flutter and compile it and put it in a div as a web component so it can integrate deeply with the rest of the platform. Because what you're looking at here is just a regular HTML div, you can do other things with it, or I could even switch it into a device mode and skew it. So let's look forward, and we're going to start with WebAssembly. And what I'm running here is the Flutter Counter app, as you may recognize it from the past. But this version of the Flutter web app is not using JavaScript. In fact, if I go into the dev tools and I make that a little bit bigger, you can see that what we've got here is, instead of the usual sort of main.dart.js, which is normally the big thing that contains everything, we've got main.dart.wasm. And this is the compiled version of this code to WebAssembly. Adding to the complexity of this, WebAssembly has been around for a little while, but the bit that is new is WebAssembly GC, which is a new in-development standard for garbage-collected languages. And Flutter is one of the very first extensions to the WebAssembly standard when it comes out. So now we get all the benefits of WebAssembly from a loading perspective in terms of performance, and we also get the ability to go and interoperate with other languages that are compiled to WebAssembly. So that's coming soon, support for compiling to WebAssembly from Flutter in the web.
Our mission for Dart is to enable you to create the highest quality apps with leading productivity on any platform your customers care about. And to do just that, I am happy to announce Dart 3 Alpha.
700,000 apps have been launched to date using Flutter, from small apps from entrepreneurs to those with over 1 billion downloads. And as GitHub noted in their recent Octopus, Flutter is one of the top 3 open source projects by contributors.
Every day, we're inspired and honored by your support. We build Flutter with you and for you. We want to close in recognition that our goal is to help you. We love seeing the ways that Flutter helps to build a better world.
Okay, guys. So you have seen the Flutter Forward event. How beautiful! Like there are many features like how Flutter adopt JavaScript style, and so so it to making a beautiful app. And if you carefully observe the video, there are many like updates which are very useful for the developers. And you might also observe that we are writing just a few lines of code. Yes, so Flutter is this much easy, guys, and it is very useful for a developer. Okay, let me move to the next slide. Okay, so what is Flutter? Okay, so Flutter is a free and free and open source mobile UI framework created by Google. Yes, Google, and released in 2017. In a few words, if I say, it allows you to create native mobile application with only one code basis. And what does it mean? It means that you can use one programming language, that is Dart, and one code base, that is Dartpad, and you can create a mobile application for any platform. Okay, for iOS, Android, embedded. Okay, okay. Now we'll move to the next slide. Yes. Why we use Flutter? So one of the reason is it is Google's portable. What do you mean by portable? It simply means that we can run or we can make an app for any of the platform. If I move to the next slide, then you can see what are the platforms for which we can make the Android apps. So it is Google's portable UI toolkit. Yes, UI toolkit for building beautiful and multi-platform applications. Wow. Yes. So these are the platforms. Yes, iOS. You can make Android app for sorry. You can make app for iOS. You can make for app for Android. Yes, you can make app for web also. You can make Windows, Mac, Linux, embedded, anything, guys, anything. On any platform you can make the app from just by using Dart and Flutter. Okay, guys. Okay, let me move to the next slide. Yes, yes. Uh, when you guys can analyze, you guys can see how beautiful the Flutter is. If you use Flutter, then possibilities are endless, guys. Yes. So this is a bit old data. Right now, the community is much larger than this. So thank you, our community. Okay, so first, meet with the Dash. What is Dash? Is it Dash? Dash is nothing but a mascot of a Dart. Like, and he's saying hi to you. Yes, say him hi. Okay, a symbol which is given to which is adopted by the Flutter. It's simply it is a hummingbird. And what is the speciality of hummingbird? He can fly uh, like many yards. So that dash that Flutter can fly like many years and years. Okay, so now we'll move to the next slide. Okay, so these are the fundamental, foundational or fundamental pillars of Flutter. If a Flutter score, if you look into the Flutter score, why is it so famous? First, it is very fast. Yes, very fast, guys. It is very productive. What do you mean by productive? Means if you use any language other than Flutter, other than Dart, then you have to write lines of code, many lines of code, like 1,000, 2,000. You have to write day by day. But in Flutter, we have to write just a few lines of code, and will make beautiful apps. Yes, and that's why. And if I use less lines of code, then it will be our time saving also. And by using Flutter, we can make many beautiful apps, websites, anything. Okay, and it is open source. Yes, guys, it is still Flutter is still working on it. You guys also can participate in this. It is open source. What do you mean by open source? You can say it is a project which is still going on. You can participate in this. Your code you can participate with your code also. Okay, and last but not the least, it is portable. Yes, we have seen in previous slides. It was if you make Android app, if you make app using Flutter and Dart, then you can make a website or make app for any of the platforms, any of these platforms. Okay, okay, yes. Now, the first feature of Flutter is it is very fast. Means if you make any website or any web application or Android application, iOS, so it will be very fast, guys. Yes, yes, we have seen that it is very productive. Like look at this animation. If you look at the this animation, you can see that we have written just few lines and we have a template of a app. If I use any other language other than Flutter, if any other technology, it may take many hours to make just this much, and also it may I have to write some lines of code. But if you use Flutter, then you have to write just 50 or 60 lines of code. You will make like a format of an app. Okay, let me move to the next slide. Yes, beautiful. By using Flutter, you can make very very beautiful apps or web applications. Yes, because Flutter provides us like widgets like features. From that you can make anything like just you have to write two or three lines of code. Yes, you are listening right. Two or three. By writing two or three lines of code, you can make a very beautiful widget. And in Flutter, we do not have to compromise our design. You are the designer. You can do anything with Flutter. Okay, let me move to the next slide. As I have told you that it is a free and open source. If you go to the GitHub, you can see, yes, you can see, and you can also participate in this ongoing project. And now in 2023, it is Flutter is about planning to release their stable version. So there is a less possibility like to give your code to the Flutter. Yes, but there is a chance that you can make contribution to the Flutter. Yes, this is open source and free. Everything you can see everything. If you go with the documentation, then everything is there on the Flutter documentation. At the last, I'll show you the documentation of Flutter. Yes, guys. By using Flutter, we have seen that it is by using Flutter we can make portable apps. Means I can make for mobile phone, for websites, for desktop, and also for embedded. Yes, guys, we can also make the application for embedded system. Yes, what does it mean by portability? If you write, if you know any programming language like Java, in Java we have something called bytecode, which leads to the portability of Java. Means if I take same bytecode in any platform, it will run everywhere. So same as that, at Java in Flutter we have something called portability feature, so that we can write same code and it will run everywhere on mobile, on website, on desktop, or anywhere. Okay, now this is the a kind word from the Flutter's product director, and Flutter, which is also the director of Flutter and Dart also. whose name is Teen Senate. You have seen this guy on that video also. Yes, Flutter is the first UI platform that is designed for an ambient computing. Yes. Now we'll go for next slide. Yeah. Okay. So as I have told you that Flutter has endless possibility in future. Not in future, you can still see in present. These are the companies like Toyota, Ubuntu, BMW, Grab, ByteDance, you may know, eBay, Tencent. These companies, these giants are using Flutter to make their application. And not just only this, there are many companies like Google itself using Flutter to make their Android app, like to make their app. I can't say Android app because of its portability. So Google is using for Google AdMob, Google Pay, yes, GPay, Google One, Stadia. What is that? Stadia. Okay. Family Link, Google Ads, Nest Hub, Cloud Search, Blogger, Google Analyst. You can, if I come to counting the apps for the Flutter, it will be countless. I cannot count in our whole day. Okay, no, now we'll move to the next slide. Okay, so this is the Flutter's ecosystem thriving. Like we have thousands of contributors. We have, if you go and search on GitHub, you can see there is you can see and you can participate there on GitHub, and you can follow on Twitter also. Okay, now yes. Now, if I use I am the user, I am using Flutter. So I have to use some tools so that we can make our website. Yes, we use Dart language, but for to run that program, we need some app like some softwares like Android Studio. If you have iPad, then you can go for Xcode. Yes, it is a, and then we have VS Code. You can run it also on VS Code. Something is called Firebase, Android APIs, iOS APIs, and Redux. But we are using VS Code and Android Studio only. So Flutter supports this much and this much software also. Okay, guys. So what are the tools we are using? We'll use VS Code and Android Studio only. And for to run the Dart language, our programming language, while learning our programming language, which is Dart, will use our website of Dartpad, where you can easily run your program. You can see the documentation of that, and everything is there on the website of Dartpad only. Okay, now we'll move to the next slide. Yes, Flutter's journey. Guys, it is not possible to make you learn everything in just 4 sessions. So if you are passionate about learning, you can go for beginner, intermediate, or expert, any level. We'll share the link of documentation also. From there, you can learn many things, like everything you can learn because it is free. Yes, but during our sessions, we're learning about the few basic concepts about Flutter, about our Dart programming language, what are the data types, what are the loops, what are the conditional statements, and we'll get to know what are the classes, objects, and in a Flutter, every data type is nothing but object. Okay, guys, don't get confused right now. We'll learn the on the next session in a very good way. Okay, so as your wish, You can go for beginner, intermediate, or expert level. Now, thank you all to participate in this event. If you have any query, you can ask me. Let me stop my presentation.
You can feel free to turn on your mic and say.
Yes, guys. If you have any query, then please feel free to turn your mic and say. Anyone? I'll share the link of Flutter documentation